Hi everyone, it's Vickie Kello, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Brisbane. Happy Monday. Let me just find you on the...
Your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator.
We don't need an echo, do we? We'll turn that on mute. I'm a bit crooked. Right, my desk is a mess and I have prepped some things, but not a lot. And I've not made this card before. I've watched a YouTube video. So, you know, we'll be flying by the seat of our pants tonight, but that's okay. Let me just plug this in because I don't know how much charge I've got. All right, so we might get started. So I've got no sample to show you, but I am going to be using Christmas paper to make a birthday card. Because, hi Glenda, I've got this paper. This is, hi Megan, I think I need to go get my sunnies. Yes, so this is the Merry, Bold and Bright Designer Series paper, and it's in the Christmas catalogue. But, hi Marie, it's not really Christmas. So, we've got heaps of paper. So I'm making a birthday card. So even if you're not into Christmas, you don't celebrate it or whatever, there is plenty of things that can be done with this paper because it's not really Christmas. Only one side of the paper is Christmas, if that. So we've got some Christmas trees on this page. This one and this one. Stars on the back of this one, so this whole piece, both sides are birthday, I think. And then this one says fa la la la. And there is another 2 sheets in this that I use for my swaps, and I can't remember what that's on. Am I doing a paper share from the mini? If I get enough interest, I can. Megan? So yes, if I get enough interest, I will. So if anybody else is interested in a paper share from the mini, let me know and I can organise that. So I also bought, in the holiday catalogue, there is the deckled circles, which I'm not sure whether anybody would have noticed because I missed them the first time round. So these go with the deckled rectangles, which are in the annual catalogue. And for the deckled rectangles, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the deckled circles, you get heaps. I was surprised. I was expecting it to be the same size as this, but it's not. It's massive. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hi, Chrissy. And the biggest one is pretty much 6 inches. It is massive. So I was surprised, A, at the size of them, and B, at the number of them, because I was kind of expecting this size and this many. So these are in the holiday catalogue. I haven't yet added a magnetic sheet to these. Hi, Glenda. But we're going to be using them tonight as well. And so out of those bright colours, I've chosen Melon Mambo, crushed curry and lemon lime twist. So I have to make a birthday card for my sister. She is going to be 40 on the weekend. Hi, Renee. You're cold. I'm freezing, Chrissy. I am so cold. Hunter was yelling at me before because I told him to go put some warmer clothes on. And he told me I'm always cold and that he's not. He's born in July, so he's used to the cold. And he doesn't need a jumper on, and I need to not be so cold all the time. But I'm freezing. Hi, Lisa. So I have realised I do not have any cowboy boots or a hat or anything cowboy related that is Stampin' Up. So I have printed this off the internet on a piece of basic white. My printer did not like the thick basic white and jammed it up, but just on the normal basic white went through. So I'm just going to colour this in. With blends. And that's why I wanted it printed on cardstock rather than just normal copy paper, because the blends would have peeled against the copy paper, I think. So did we all have a good weekend? I'm going to get the darker Melon Mambo. Just add some accents. All right, we don't have a crushed curry blend, or I'm pretty sure we don't. And I don't know, I've got Dark Daffodil Delight. I don't know whether we still have this. I've kept some of my retired blends for colours. But I'm using the Dark Daffodil Delight because it'll be closer to crushed curry. And so we're going to have yellow boots. Hi Myrtle. It has been freezing all day. Megan, I this morning woke up and the sun was up, decided to wash some of the dog beds, hung out the washing, and then it got really cold really quickly and it got all cloudy like it was going to rain. I'm like, of course, because today is the day I've washed the dog beds. Hi Kerry. So yeah, that's because I've got like 6 dog beds. So they, I washed the ones out in the lounge room today, and then I'll wash the ones in the craft room on the weekend, because all day they're in with me in the craft room while I'm working. Then on the weekends, where, well, in the night time they're out in the lounge room. Then on the weekends I'll wash the ones in the craft room because they don't come in as much. So yeah, so ideally I would have liked to have a stamp for this, and I don't often do it, but I had nothing that reflected Tara at all. Hi Julie. All right, so I've coloured those in. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to start on this card. Yes, Julie? All right, I'm going to get my trimmer. We're making a Cascade birthday card. I've not made one before, so we are making this together. Which catalogue is the Heartfelt Punch in? The annual, I would assume? No, punches are... Oh, maybe it's not in anymore. Heartfelt hexagon. I cannot find it. They may not be current. Or some punches got moved to online, so... I don't know. I'll have to search. So I know there's some circle punches that are online, and there's a new one that's online. This is the one for World Card Making Day. Oh, well then it's not in a catalogue. That's coming in a new catalogue. It's just being offered now. If it's the one for World Card Making Day, was my understanding. So we need a few bits of cardstock. The card base, it's an online exclusive. Yes. So no catalogue needed. Thanks, Chrissy. That is 10.5 inches by 7 inches. So this is a big card. Has the feed dropped for anybody else? There we go. It's just really lagging. So the measurements for the card are 10.5 inches by 7 inches for the card, and we are scoring it at 2.5, 2 3/4, and 7 3/4, and 8. And then we need 2 pieces of cardstock, and I've got these at thin, the normal basic white. These are 10.5 by 7, and it is scored at 2.5, 5, 7.5, and 10. Okay. So then we need to fold and burnish. So we need to fold and burnish this. So this is a gatefold Cascade card, and we've got a bit of a gusset there to hold the mechanism in there. So that's what the card will look like. I need to find my bone folder. And then we need to fold and burnish these other ones. Right, and we'll do the same for this one. So this obviously is not my original card. I have used Mixed Up Craft, which is Sam Calcott, or from the UK, her design. I'm making a Cascade birthday card, Julie. So we need to, because we need to fold this back and forth and get a diagonal cut on it. So the way to do that is we mark up, so this is the tab. On the opposite side of the tab, we need to mark up 2 inches. She does make a lot of 5x7, Megan. But this is a nice big card, and I figured it's Tara's 40th, so I should do a nice big card for her. So on the other side, so have the tab side on, that's not the side that we're putting the measurement on. The other side, we measure up 2 inches and put a mark. And then in our trimmer, we get from the 2-inch mark and we line it up to this score line here. Don't line it up with the edge of the cardstock, this first score line. So in your trimmer, you get 2 inches, like the pen mark that you made, and line it up to where the score line is. Put your cover down and cut. Okay, so we're cutting that bit off. And now, when you go like this, you've got a nice display. So we need to do that again, right? So we mark up on the opposite side to our tab, 2 inches, and then we have that and line it up with the first score line. And then chop. Okay, and then you fold. So you obviously want them folding the opposite way. Okay. So you want them to look like this so that they match up, and put the tabs behind them and they match up like this. How pretty does that look? So when you've got them folded the right way, then you just want to get your snips and you just want to tidy this up. So cut that tag so it lines up with that score line there, or that cut line there, and do the same on the other side. But you need to make sure that you do that once you've worked out which bit's where. Okay. So that is that. Now on the second score line, on the second fold line, which, so this is 1 fold line, this is 2 fold line, this is 3 fold line. Same on this side. 1, 2, 3. So on this fold line here, the one that sticks out, we need to measure up halfway, or measure halfway, and on one side we cut up the bottom and on the other side we cut up the top. Okay, So if we get a ruler, that score line is 4.5. So then it's 1.25. 2.15, so it'll be 2.25. And we can put a dot. And on this side, same thing. Can eyeball it if you want. And then one side we need to cut up from the bottom and the other side we need to cut from the top. So on this one I'm going to cut up from the bottom. And we're essentially just going to cut away that score line. Okay, so it'll be like less than 1/8 of an inch wide, but you're just cutting away that score line. No, neither have I, Chrissy. I watched a YouTube video when I got home from work. And this is it. I've never made one. I'm making it from memory. Okay, and then on this side we're cutting from the top. And then, hi Elizabeth. Okay, so we've got our bits there. And then what will essentially happen, you need to feed those bits together and just make sure that you're at they still need to be, I think I've got to feed them the other way. Yes. And then they come back around that way. So then you fold them back in. Because when you feed them together, you still need them, so that locks there. So this is the cascading part, right? You want them to lock in. It is really neat, isn't it, Lisa? I have seen quite a few of these cards online and I thought, oh my God, that's way too hard. And then when I actually sat and watched the video, it's not that hard at all. But when you fit them together, see how I just had to fiddle with them a bit and turn them around? Because when you want, hi Laura, when you want them together, you want everything that these tabs are at the back, because these tabs are what glue into the card. So now that we've got our mechanism right, we can glue into our card, because essentially this should fit in here and then close up, and that's our card. Okay, so you can glue one bit down at a time or two. Now I'm going to use double-sided tape for this just to give me the wiggle room. If I use seal, I can't pull the bit off. It's stuck. Both of them are stuck there. And where is my tape? Here. So I'm going to stick, so you can use tear and tape on here. And because it is a mechanism, I am going to stick 2 strips of it because you want this adhered pretty well. All right, so I'm going to stick it on both sides. Okay, I'm just going to burnish that tape down so it's stuck real good. Right. And that's going to fit in there. Close up and we're good to go. I'm listening, I promise. Okay. So we can do one side at a time. I want to just, because you've given yourself a bit of room with cutting that score line around away rather than just cutting a slit, it does tend to move just a little bit. So make sure you line it all up. Okay. So I've only got one side with the backing tape off. Come on. So just line it up. I promise I'm making this look harder than it is. You just want to line the edge up with that edge of that score line, the base up with the base of the card, and you should be then square. No, that's up too high. I've lined up that one. Okay. That's that one in. Now this one can go in as well, which if you then take your tape off, come on. When you line that up, that, come on. You just want to make sure they're lined up and even. Hi, Marcel. All right, and then that's down too. And then so we can burnish that down. And that is our mechanism. So if you lift that up, that is stuck down there now, and fold over this side. That is stuck down. Hi, Lichia. That's all right. I'm making a Cascade gatefold card. So that is the base of our card done. Now we just need to decorate and stuff. So I haven't got quite that far yet and worked out what I'm going to do exactly. What I've done is I've cut, it's a good one, Marcel. I haven't made this before, so you know we're all making it live tonight together. I've just watched a video on it. Is that we've got everything I've cut is 2 1/4 strips. So I've cut 2 strips of that. Because this length of this card is 7 inches, then 6 3/4, you can't actually get 2 pieces out of this, but if you adjust the measurements you could. But I've left it at a 5x7 card because it's for a 40th, so I wanted to keep it a bit special. and big. So I'm going to cut these 2 pieces of DSP to, this is the Merry, Bold and Bright from the holiday catalogue. So I'm going to cut these 2 pieces at 6 3/4, which means I need my arm out. So cut at 6 3/4. Just going to cut one at a time because it's been slipping. Oh. Did you get the bundle as well? What came with this bundle? I think I just got the paper. I haven't ordered very much from this catalogue at all yet. Let me just have a quick look. I'm just putting those bits over in my scrap. I think it's on like this page. No, I didn't get this bundle. So this is the paper here on page 5. I did get the ribbon and I did get the dots and the paper, but I haven't got the stamp set and the dies. But I did get, my order rocked up the other day. I did get some more of this paper. This is the Christmas lights of the paper that I already used out of this pack because I have already used, now that's like half a pack I've gone. I did get this paper, which is the Oh Holy Night, and I got the Shining Brightly DSP. I got the navy ribbon, and I got this stamp set. So I haven't actually got too many Christmas stamp sets or anything yet. So we're just going to pop that away for a second, and we're just going to work out what I want where. So I think we're going to do that. Now, I've got some pieces of cardstock that can go in there, and these are all 2 1/4 inches, right? So everything all fits in with the measurements, which is why I didn't, and because I didn't prepare until just before, I haven't had time to rejig it to Australian standards and card size, but that's okay. We will deal with this with a bigger card. That goes on there. So then I've got some other pieces. I think we're going to need some more DSP. Because this is a bigger card, I did want to use some embossing, but, and you can see the inside. So you can't use an embossing piece for this because our embossing folders only go to 6 inches. So this embossed piece has to come here. So that will fit in there for that piece. And same as I've bought in some, because I've used lemon lime twist on the boots and for something else, I bought in some lemon lime twist from the DSP pack, but you can't use that for the bigger pieces because it's only 6 inches. So I need this other pack back. I will need another 2 strips and something there. So I think I want these dots again in there. And then so those dots can go at the back there. And then I'm thinking, do we want these stripes there, or do you think that's too much? Do we want just some pink cardstock? I think we'll just have some pink cardstock there. I've just answered my own question. So I'm going to have these. So this is 2 1/4. So they will be these bits here. And then we want some Melon Mambo, which I think I need a pack of Melon Mambo. I am running, this is all I've got left. Is this going to get me two things, 2 1/4? I think this will be long enough to get me 2 bits though, do you think? Yep. How big's that? 3 1/2. Well, we do that 3 1/2. Right. So now we've got our bits. We just need to start sticking them down where we want them. I could emboss these bits then too. I might do that. I can't emboss the back bits because we don't have embossing folders big enough, but I'm going to add the dots to these. So the dots is this embossing folder. This is a gatefold cascading card. Anita. Birthday card using Christmas paper. That's pretty cool. Okay, so put that over there. Now, let's start sticking some pieces down so we don't get lost of what we're doing. Now, I've got something happening with this seal. I was hoping to finish it before I came on video, but it's nearly finished. It keeps winding back on itself. So I just keep pulling the paper away. That's that one. This is the first one I've had it happen to me, but it's so close to finishing it, but I don't want to waste it. So I'm just creating a right roll mess. So that's stuck down. And then we want this paper. I out? And now I'm out. Woohoo! Right. Put that in the bin. Pop that one down, and if we can fold these. Now these pink ones have to be 6 3/4 as well. So cut from the straight edge. 6 3/4. Six and 3/4. All right, and then stick them down. And you can lift these up. When you stick these down, you want to stick it over that tab that you glued down just to hide it in place. Nice little border under there. All right. Okay, so now we need to work out, we've got to cut a lot of these pieces for the angle. So if we start at 6 3/4 for these two pieces as well. Oh, I lost it yesterday helping with the trees. So that's what happens when I help in the garden. And because I only got them done on the Thursday, but anyway, that's what happens. So these two pieces go in here. And so to get the angle, what you do, you line up where you want the piece to go, and then you get your pen or your pencil and you kind of just mark it there. Go rightio, and then you do that same angle cut that you did before. Now you could line up the point with the mark that you made. Cut that. Oh, yes. I thought I cut that wrong then. And then that should fit in there. Now to do the other side, you can do the same thing, or you just put that up and get your scissors and chop, chop, chop. So you could try measurements when you're doing this, and Sam has got measurements on her blog, but if you haven't cut your things straight, the measurements aren't going to work. Right, so sometimes it's better if you just, or if you fold a bit crooked, sometimes it's best if you just measure with paper and pen and cut like that, because then it will fit your piece. Now, for when you are sticking these bits down, you can unhook these. To make sure you get it even right where you need to. Got my hair everywhere. But then you've got to make sure that you stick them back together, because you want to make sure that you're decorating the bits that you're actually going to see. Okay, so that's our first bit done there. And then the next bit is the yellow embossed. That's coming in here. All right, so we can measure that. And that is 5 3/4. So let's cut these at 5 3/4. She's called Mixed Up Craft, Marie. So if you Google Mixed Up Craft, you will find her. All right, so I'm just gonna, because I just need to take a smidge off that. So I'm gonna take 1/8 of an inch off that. It is freezing, isn't it? Well, it's freezing even in Brisbane, Julie. I'm gonna take a smidge more off that. So the measurements kind of, you just need to work with what you're doing with your folds and your cuts and stuff. So that fits much better. Right, now we need to fit this one in here. That fits in there. And do a line from there to the point. It's always best when you're cutting this on a diagonal to cut from the bigger end. You don't want to cut from the point, because if it doesn't go through straight away, you'll dodgy up your point and you won't have a point left if it doesn't go through cleanly. Okay, so then that goes then flipped on that side. So then, and especially with the embossed and pattern paper, if you've only got one-sided paper, it's probably easier to work out, but you need to make sure you've got the paper right. So I'm going to stick 3 lots of adhesive on this because the embossing is quite deep. So you want to get good coverage. Okay, so then put that on there. All right, now these green bits, that wouldn't be helping at all. So these green bits need, so when you're measuring the length of the piece, it needs to be at least from the point to the end. So I would say this is 4 1/4. Oh no, Kerry. COVID sucks. So that's 4 1/4. They need to be here. And so that's the first measurement. And then the next one is you've got to do it by like pen. If you used a pencil, you'd be able to rub it out. I can't find a pencil, I'm using a pen. Oh, actually, do I want, oh, that side's fine. I was going to use a different pattern. So line up that point with the mark and choppity chop, which gets us that side, and then flip that over, make sure the pattern's right. I know you wouldn't know, it's just I initially wanted to use this pattern, but it's okay. I'll use the bigger check instead of the little check. So it's not a stuff up. Or I could still use the little check. I just did it backwards. Let's do that because that's what I wanted. Right. Okay, that goes on there. Well, we had a big weekend cutting down more trees, but it's looking amazing. Okay, so now these pieces here, I've got another piece somewhere of just scrap here, which will kind of hold these bits together. So it's just 3 inches by 1 inch, and we're just going to stick some adhesive on both of that. And you want that to be in the center. It's going to be covered up, so you're not going to see it, but you just want it to be in the center, really, of both of them. And then so that holds that together, and then you just want to bend that I know, Megan, it's going to be amazing. Okay, so you want to do that before you stick that bit on. Done that, and then we've got these pink ones left, which Adrian is not the procrastinator. I am the procrastinator. So let's do them at 3 inches. Hence why I'm making this card now when it's my sister's birthday party on Saturday. And I have my card class on Saturday morning, and then we are going straight after that pretty much to the birthday, because it takes like an hour and a bit to get to her place now. So I don't really have time if I don't do it today. Okay. And then flip that over. Get your snips and choppity chop. Try not to move it when you're doing that. Choppity chop chop. Right, some adhesive, and again I'm going to go 3 times with this. 1 to make sure it's good coverage. All right. I said Megan, I said to Adrian, I said, I might have to buy a new bedspread because my bedspread might fade now that the sun comes in on the thing. So, right, we now have this. So this is the base of the card, really. This is the card, and then you kind of just decorate now as you see fit and you want to. I'm going to decorate the back. I've just cut a piece of lemon lime twist. Then I've cut the largest deckled rectangle. The second largest, I think, actually. And I kind of want that on there. And I'm going to use this strip across here just to decorate a little bit more and kind of fill in the blank that it doesn't quite fit on there. I can't remember what size this was. This is 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. And I think that only needs to be that needs to be even up there. So this needs to be about 3/4 inch. Do you like how I measure? About that. Okay, so we're going to stick this on. So this is where you write your message. And I use the little check, so we're going to use the little check again. Oh, I've cut that too. There we go. Fixed it. I wanted a border. I cut it the same size as a piece of paper. But there we go. And then that's going to go on the back. So this is where we write our message. Whoops. So that goes on there. Now on the front, so we need to do a bit of stamping. So for those that just joined late, I didn't have any cowboy boots or anything like that. I've printed this off the internet and I've coloured it in with blends. I printed it off on basic white cardstock. My printer did not like the thick basic white, but it worked okay with that. I'm also using this So Sincere stamp. So this is in the holiday catalogue. I bought this specifically for this happy birthday, but then I also really like this saying, be grateful for what you have and be proud of who you are. So we're going to find these stamps. That's the one there. That's okay. Julie, I left it to the last minute as well because I'm pretty sure I have plenty of people that would probably have things, but I was just not organised enough. So I'm going to stamp in Melon Mambo. So I chose Melon Mambo and Crushed Curry to go with this paper, but years ago, my sister wanted to paint her room pink and black. Mum never let her have a pink and black room, but she let her have a pink and yellow room. So that's why I chose pink and yellow. And then this happy birthday. So I've just cut these out of the deckled circles and the deckled rectangles. I made sure, made the one that fit. You love doing this on the fly. Well, I would like to be a lot more organised, but the procrastination is real. So, and to be honest, like, I've been busy as well. So it's not all me stuffing around. I've had a life doing things. I've got lemon lime twist here. And I was trying to find some balloons or stars. The only stamp that I could find is this Days to Remember. I don't have the new balloon thing in the annual catalogue and stuff. So, and you can see I've had this stamp for however long. I think it's been in 2 catalogues and I've not used it yet. So now's the time. I need a scratch bit of paper. Oh, they're cute. Perhaps I should have used this a bit earlier. Yes, I did double check that it was still current. So let's get, I think we might only use one of these sticks because 2 is going to get too confusing. Let's get rid of that stamp, Vickie. You're just not going to be able to see anything. I could have done these in pink, the sticks. There we go. Good sticker. Little stick coming down here. Right, that's made a mess. Close that ink pad up. Move that over there. So then this goes on this. Oh, I need to get that off there because I need my seal now. That goes on there, and this goes on here. And then my idea was that that could go there. This is the belly band to keep that closed. And then this needs a little thingy-mabob in here. So let's use one of these scratch bits of paper. I have made a right raw mess tonight. Okay, so let's do this 3 inches. And it only needs to be probably 1/2 inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. And then we need to score this at 1 inch, 1/2 inch, flip it round, 1 inch, 1/2 inch. And then you fold that in like that so that this then is there. And we'll put, I think I might do double-sided tape just to, maybe Seal Plus actually. Okay, stick that there. On there. Now we need 2 dimensionals. One, 2. And pop this on. Ta-da! Okay, now stick this on. Don't need Seal Plus for this, just normal. And then we're going to do a belly band. And so you want the belly band loose enough that they can get it on and off, but tight enough that it's not going to fall off. And then we're going to stick that on with some dimensionals. We're going to stick the dimensionals on. Yes, we are 10 months and 28 days apart. Very close in age. If we were born in the same calendar year, we would, yeah, if one was born in January and one was born in December, we would be in the same calendar year. So then if we take this off and just burnish that a little bit so that then that looks a bit more structured. That goes on there. And then that comes off. Ta-da! So you could decorate it and have like things flying out of it everywhere, but like I said, I do not have the balloons. I do not have anything. I realized the limitation of my stamps when I went to buy some, when I went to make something. So I need a couple more. I think I will add that. Where is my take my pick tool? I think I will add that the balloon one to my stash because I just really struggled to come up with something. And I don't have a small stash, but I actually don't have, because like my sister's really not into flowers and I seem to have an awful lot of flowers. So yeah, I just wasn't organised enough and Chrissy was out over the weekend, which was fine. She's not meant to be at my beck and call. But I've just left it way too late. So my bad for... No, I didn't do a balloon class. I think I used the paper or something, but I didn't do the dies. I don't have the dies or the stamp set. Surprisingly, I don't. Yeah, see? So, have that on there. And that is card. I don't like that it's opening too far there. Let's just burnish this a little bit more. Where is my thing? Yeah, the bling is from the holiday catalogue. So I'm just burnishing this end bit just a little bit more to make it close so you can't see what's on the inside, because that's doing my head in right now. That's better. So everything was Stampin' Up except for this printed image off the internet. So, do you know the name of the bling? The bling is the one for this paper. It is the iridescent adhesive backed discs. So they come in a green. I've used most of the green. I've used most of the light pink, and then the dark pink purpley colour, the blue and the red. So that is my card tonight, ladies. So it was inspired, well, Mixed Up Craft. So Sam Calcott, I think is her name. She, but she goes by Mixed Up Craft. It was her, I've got the instructions from her and her design, but I've obviously changed it up and used Stampin' Up papers and cardstock and stuff like that, because Sam is not Stampin' Up anymore. She used to be years ago, but not anymore. And I used the balloons from this Days to Remember, and then So Sincere, which is, yes, Lisa, you can watch it again. I never delete them from Facebook Live, but then I also move them to YouTube, so you could watch it again on YouTube because sometimes it's a bit hard to find on Facebook. But it give me a couple of days because I work full time, so I usually try to move it in a couple of days to YouTube. But this So Sincere stamp is from the holiday catalogue, but I really liked it because I really like this. So that's what we used on the inside. Be grateful for what you have and be proud of who you are. And I really like a vertical happy birthday and things. So, yes. But that's pretty cool. So, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the card, got something new. Another one to try. You can watch back on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment. I don't get a lot of comments on YouTube and things, so I'd love it if you left me a comment and liked my video to help out a little bit. But yes, at least then you can pause me and get the measurements and stuff from that. Is this a $1 million stamp set? Yes, it is. This is a Sandy Hancock $1 million Sales Achiever stamp. It's in the holiday catalogue. It is. I've got that with me. Here. It's towards the middle. Here, it is on page 47. It is $42. So, thank you very much, everyone. And I will see you next week, and I can tell you all about how the 40th birthday went, because it is going to be a cowboy themed with a bucking bull and everything. So hopefully there will be no injuries. But I'll see you all next week. Have a good week. Bye.